I'm going to create a web ad from scratch just so you can see the workflow and how you might want to go about it when you create your own. So this is the header that we created for our email marketing. And any type of marketing campaign or additional marketing material should really look like it goes with this. And how we do that is to use the same logo or type and the same design elements like these gradients in the background, similar or the same photographs, the same design elements, and of course the same message that we're delivering to the same audience. So let's get started. I'm going to take all of my elements from my header and copy them, and then we're going to make a brand new file. So just Command N. It's being a little bit slow today. All right, so my new document, the web ad is going to be used for the screen. So we'll click Web, and I'm going to create the web ad that is 160 pixels by 600. This is a common Google web size, web ad size, and it's also good to the header we designed, which is horizontal like a billboard, and this will be vertical, so it'll challenge your design skills a little bit. Okay, so when we click web, it automatically sets it up at RGB and 72 pixels per inch, which is what we want, 160 by 600. So we'll create that. So in here I'm going to Command V to paste all of the elements from my header. And now I can repurpose these and reposition these. So let's start with these two gradients, and I'll kind of let you watch as I build this. Command Shift enlarge, or to enlarge the type, I use the Command Shift greater than less than keys. To reduce my leading, I'm using Option and the up and down arrow keys. I built this already, so I'm going to go back and see what some of the words I forgot already. Craig's Dogs, grooming, and dog sitting services. Nudge this down or up with your arrow keys, or left and right. To positively kern, I'm going to Option my right arrow. And for my headline, I used We Treat Your Dog Like Family. I think I used upper and lower case, yes. I used this Poppins typeface in the other, so I like that. When I have all of this extra kerning in here and I want to just get rid of it, with my text selected, I'll type Command T. That brings up my character box. And you can see right here, this is all of the tracking. And I'm going to set that to 0. And that kind of resets everything. You can also set your leading to auto and see if you want to increase or decrease your type. I think I had it about right there. And that looks good. Notice that in the header, I had the gradients bleeding off to, fading off into white. So I don't really like that anymore. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to get rid of the white and just go all the way to the lighter color of red. Might even darken that just a little bit. 85. I'll do the same down here. Get rid of this just by dragging it off of there. And we'll make this 85 as well. So I still have a gradient. It's just not so light over here. And that allows me to have a nice contrast between all of the letters in here. Okay, so the photo, over here I had the photo going all the way behind the black gradient and all the way to the bottom. So let's enlarge that just a little bit. Now you'll notice that I have a box around here. And if I use my direct select tool, inside of this bounding box is the full photograph. So if I click on the photograph with my direct select tool, I can move that around. Or vice versa, if I click on the border, I can move these edges and open up the box for that photograph. You can see the photograph ends right here, so I'll have to nudge it up a little bit. Looks like this is going to be about the right height. But all I want to do is make this box the same size as my add border. You can also just click on the line on the edge too. You don't always have to select the anchor or the end points. So we'll put that right here. Move this over right here. This just really cleans up the picture box so it's not overhanging my add space. And now I just need to click on the photo, and with holding my shift key down to move it in larger increments, I'm going to nudge my photo around until I get to what I want. To duplicate these two, I select both by holding my Shift key down, and then I'm going to hold my Option key down while I'm on my selection tool. And notice I'll get a double arrow, and then holding my Option key down, I click and drag, and to keep it aligned with where it was, I'll hold my Shift key down. Take this all the way down to the bottom. Open this up a little bit. It came kind of up here by her shirt. This is our other, the other box of type. This is our main headline, and this is going to be part of our call to action. And the call to action is something you want in any kind of marketing or advertising piece. And that simply tells the viewer what to do and sets them into action after they read the message you're delivering to them. To draw my button, I'm going to choose the rounded rectangle tool. And that's maybe a little bit too much, so I'm going to grab these little targets and pull them up. Because I have the entire rectangle selected, it will change all four corners at the same time. If I wanted to change just one corner, I could select that corner with my direct select tool, and then I can do just one if I want to, or two or three if I select them with my Shift key held down. So this I just chose a little bit, a red that was a touch brighter than the red I was using for the brand color, just to get it to stand out a little bit more. We'll duplicate this type, drag it down here. Now this was behind this, so I used Command Shift left and right bracket to send it to the back and the front. You can also do it under Arrange, send to back, send to front, send backward, which jumps back one layer. And this type I would like to have all caps, Book Now. Make this a little bit larger, and we'll make this white so that stands out a little bit more. Close up our box, center it in here. To have it fit to my screen, I use Command 0. To enlarge, I use Command plus, and Command minus zooms out. So Craig's Dogs, Grooming and Dog Sitting Services, double check our spelling here. We treat your dog like family. That looks like it could come down just a little bit. Photograph in here. The gradient of both of these is over top of the photograph, just to give it a little bit of depth. Save 25%, January only, and this is our call to action button to book now. So let's I'm looking through just to make sure we have everything that we want. And one thing I want to remind you to do is anytime you're doing an ad for anybody, whether it's a real client or for class, go to Edit and go to Check Spelling as the last thing you do. We'll click Start. You'd be surprised what you might find if this didn't find anything, and then have someone else read through it too. That's helpful. So the last thing we would do would be to export this, and I'd probably export this as a PNG file, because a PNG handles photographs and kind of hardline, high contrast copy like this pretty well. And then what I would do for my business is I would save this as a ping file and then upload this to Google Ads, and we would start running the ad. So that's how you build kind of the workflow. That's how I built, and you see the workflow for building a web ad. Thank you.